Hello, and today we're going to talk about scripting and different visual programming tools. In this case, Dynamo. Dynamo is a visual programming tool for Revit, but it's also a standalone application for creating parametric functionality and then applying it to design. So we can create stadiums, multi-story towers, do different occupancy testing for Revit for different models. In this instance, I had an old stadium script from 2013 that I was looking to update and provide some better functionality and make it far more practical. So we have instant control over things like risers, rows, segments, vomitories, bowl tiers. Really, it's about 100 or so features, but I really want people to think of it as infinite and ongoing features, but not necessarily complex. So as the design process and our techniques evolve, so should our tools. We enhance ourselves by augmenting our designs with our insight and our knowledge. So imagine building a half-circle stadium in front of a client and having them toggle the different sizes for the different heights, and really engaging the client. That's something I really enjoy, something I think is important. Involves them on a couple different levels, involves them in the process, helps them really connect with us on a different level, and it goes from them taking kind of a back seat to really taking a front seat in the loge box with the beverage cooler next to it. But then again, how can we do this? Well, in order to do what I'm talking about, I've had to retool a small portion of my design process. I wouldn't be able to complete a stadium by myself, but I would be able to provide the features necessary for someone else to accurately get answers they need to complete the design with much greater accuracy than before. So let's walk through an example of what I mean by that. So in this instance, I'm going to use some imaginary people. Let's say Scott is a designer working on a stadium and needs to come up with multiple iterations of a design before noon. Using a modeling program might get him one or two done if he's starting from scratch. And let's say Ryan is in another office but has the framework generator to design a stadium. And so let's say Scott calls up Ryan and says, "Hey, I need this feature, this feature, this feature. Can you do that?" And Ryan, in theory, comes back and says, "Yeah, I can give it to you in a couple minutes or maybe an hour or so." Ryan uploads this to a shared site with all these different parametric controllers that are just on toggle switches. They wouldn't necessarily need to be any more complex than that. That can control bowl height, riser height, different parametric qualities of that, radius of the bowl, so on and so forth. So we can easily kind of grab this, share that workspace, at least in beta mode, and then upload it to a shared site or a shared link where the designer can take a look at it, and then use those toggles that are built in, those different features and those different parameters to really experiment, almost instantaneously, basically instantaneously, at least on a very simple level at this point. This is also just kind of a beta version of this. It can get far more complicated than this, and they can instantly, quickly change different arrangements of that bowl. So here you see Scott has one set of skills and Ryan has the complementary skills. Together they make something amazing together, faster, more accurately, and with better results. And the tool only gets better with time, and not only can be shared with Scott, but Dave as well, Danny as well. The more minds you put into it, the better it becomes. And this process, which I'm dubbing multi-collaboration tool for now, copyright dibs, is only going to get better. So now if you were to apply this concept to, say, K-12, I need X amount of science rooms, English rooms, math, so on and so forth. The interface is on a toggle switch. Now, for those of you saying, well, it really isn't that easy, to which I assure you, it is very, very, very complex, but it's complexity wrapped in something beautiful and simple. So it's really just disguised as a simple interface, but there is a lot of robustness to this, and there is a lot of complexity to it. Is it meant to give you a completed design in a matter of hours? Well, to me, yes. And what's wrong with that? What if I could complete a design of a K through 12 or anything in a matter of hours. Now let me ask you this: what if your competition could? So let's be serious for a moment, and I'll quote myself from Square One. It goes something yada yada yada. Designers need more time for reflection. So it might not complete the design for you, but it buys you a tremendous amount of time to get it right the first time and elevate the human experience. It automates the boring stuff like riser heights or corridor widths based on egress calcs, and allows you to think about what it's like to be the person walking through the space as an event for them, not as a number. All right, thanks. I'm going to share this link up on our company website, and enjoy.